Right, here we are at page 92 of our workbook. This is topic on ratio. We are looking at ratio of three quantities. You can see in this question, do you have a word problem on question number 4 involving three parts P, Q, and R in this figure, where the rectangle is divided into three parts here. So you have P, Q, and R as the three parts, and then you have the ratio of Q to P. So as I read the question, I'm going to do the annotation at the same time. So I have ratio of area Q is to P is 3 is to 4. So I read carefully. If you need be, I highlight it differently. Q is 3, P is 4. So make sure it tallies P and P, Q and Q. Okay, then the next part you have R to P. Here says R is to P is 1 is to 2. So this here is P. And then there's another statement that talks about Q being 34 square centimeter bigger than R. And then ask you for the area of the whole rectangle. I'm going to ignore that all this information in the back first and try to sort out the ratio in front. So here we have the first part. There is Q is to P is 3 is to 4. Then you have P that happens here. I'm going to shade this in the same color, P, and then you have R is a different portion. Okay, so R is a different portion. P is the one that is used in reference to the other quantities. So I have to put R and P. I can reverse it into P to R as 2 is to 1, which is the P as it is, and then R as it is. Okay, well, so P is supposed to be 2 units, and for R, be 1 unit. Now looking at this, I need to put them in equivalent. So I'll convert this to make it equal the equivalent ratio of 4 is to 2. So I have the first part here that is resolved, putting the three of them, Q, P, and R, into the equivalent ratio 3 is to 4 is to 2. Now that P is placed identically, then you have Q is bigger than R. That is the next relationship. Q versus R. Q versus R is Q is 3 units, and then that is 3 minus 2 units. They will give you 24 square centimeters. So that's 1 unit. That's quite helpful. Then altogether you are looking at this ratio. So the area, total area will be 3 plus 4 plus 2, this number of units. And there you go, quite close to getting to the answer. Number of units, 34, multiply by the number, and then you get square centimeters. Don't forget about the square centimeters. Okay, so then the first method, I can just look at it solely by ratio. Another way, of course, is the model drawing method. Sometimes it's really a personal choice of which you prefer to use. Sometimes the model being a picture might be able to help you to see things better. So you have P and Q. So P is the identity. So I started off with P being 4 units, and then Q is 3 units. So in this case, then we go to R. R to P is 1:2. So you can see that's where R is half of what P is. So this is which, and I cut it up. It put me into the equivalent ratio. So that's where the R to P 1:2 appears. And then you have comparing the 34 square centimeter becomes very obvious here in the model. That one unit more than R. Okay, so that's the model for this question.